Greetings, North Andover. I'm your hometown host, Ron Carpenito, and welcome to this episode of the North Andover Journal. Well, it's been one full year since North Andover's police department added a new furry friend to their team, therapy dog officer Gibbs. From going into classrooms, meeting students, comforting someone when they're down, and getting lots of treats from friends, Officer Gibbs is a very busy and popular canine. Cam Promise, North Andover's school resource officer, takes Gibbs all over North Andover community, and he sat down with Gabrielle Griffiths to talk.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Griffiths, and today I'm here with Officer Primus from the North Andover Police Department. He is here today to talk about his buddy, Officer Gibbs. First of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Officer Gibbs, thank you as well. So I'd really like to have you guys start off by introducing yourself and saying your roles and overall all what you do for the North Andover community.
Sure. So, like I said, my name is Officer Cam Primus. I've been with North Andover now for about 3 years. I've had Gibbs here for a year. So, as we said, Gibbs is our community resource dog. So we have a bunch of different roles. So primarily, I'm assigned to the school system in town. So right now, I cover all the schools. We're kind of all over the place. Mm-hmm. And for anyone watching that knows Gibbs, he's in high demand. Mm-hmm. He's very, very popular, especially with the kids. I do have obligations in patrol still, and we've used him for special cases too. So any victim of a serious crime or a special crime, anywhere where it may be hard for someone to talk about something to a complete stranger, we kind of use him to break that ice.
So how did Gibbs first come to be a part of the North Andover community? So
I got Gibbs last March. I wanted to kind of get creative in a way I could connect with kids so that they learn to trust the police, and hopefully growing up trusting the police, they won't ever run into the police when they're older, right? So a lot of stuff in the schools I was doing, just being me, I kind of looked pretty intimidating. Just walk into a class with young kids. If they see me, they kind of affiliate me with just, crime. So I started doing all the research with dogs, and it really kind of blew my mind how positive the feedback was from everything I was reading and seeing. The more interactions you have with dogs, the more feelings of happiness and the lower levels of stress, depression, anxiety. As soon as I walk into the room, even with adults, like people's faces just light up. They really love this dog. I'd
kind of love to hear like a day in the life of Gibbs, like what he does in a normal day.
So we get up, we get ready, we go to work. We're going to check in with all the schools. So we start our day usually at the middle school. That's where my office is, and we'll just jump into a couple different classrooms. We'll go to specific programs. It's a pretty exciting way for students to start their day. There's some days we do eight schools, upwards of 50 classrooms, and then anything where it would need direct attention. So if we have a student out of control or a school refusal situation, so we're all over the place. Really, there's no real set schedule to how my day goes at this point.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing Gibbs along. He was a great guest.
Yeah.
So were you. Is there anything else you want to say? Just if you want to sum up the year.
What I always tell people is to not be shy about requests for him, or if you have something going on in your life that you're feeling like you're struggling with. That's why we have him, and that's really the main reason why I wanted to get him, is kind of reach those people that are feeling desperate or feeling lost. It's a unique thing, and it kind of sounds silly to like hang out with a dog for a little bit, but I can tell you that it definitely changes your perspective, and it is helpful. So you can always reach out to me personally at the police station. You can call the station number. You can reach out to our community support person, which is Deanna Lima. There's a million different ways to get in touch with me, but definitely don't hesitate if you need it.
Well, thanks so much to Officer Primus and Gibbs for letting us see a day in their lives. And let's keep an eye out around town for Gibbs, and make sure you wish him a happy 1 year on the job anniversary right here in North Andover. Now, North Andover held its annual town election on Tuesday, March 30th, and with 2 contested races for Select Board and School Committee, we were there to capture all that excitement and the moments as they happened. We've put together a package to sum up all you need to know, as well as the final vote totals, so let's check it out.
Tuesday, March 30th, 2021, North Andover held its annual candidate election at the North Andover High School. According to Town Clerk Trudy Reed, quote, "The day started out slow, but by mid-morning it picked up, and for the remainder of the day we had a constant steady stream of voters coming into the polling location. We saw an 18% turnout, 4,038 voters. I think it helped that the vote-by-mail application was included with the annual census. Regarding the vote-by-mail, 3,718 ballots were mailed and 2,346 were returned. As a comparison, for 2020, the turnout was 14.5%, with 3,043 voters casting their vote." End quote. The elections were held for 2 open positions on the North Andover Select Board and the School Committee. Although it is exciting to have some fresh new faces on these boards, it was sad to see our previous Select Board member, Phil DeCollegiero, go.
So for those that aren't as aware, this is Phil DeCollegiero's last meeting on the Select Board, and Phil's served 6 years and been a tremendous voice and heart for the community. So engaged.
It's been a really sweet experience, and so it's a bitter feeling to leave that because, as a person, we're all experiencing it right now, all 4 of you as well, that you get to learn a lot about yourself as a member of a board like this, including when you spar, or when you get to do productive things as a member of a team where you see results and you see how your community improves, and you realize you had to talk to a lot of different people to get those good things happening, and hopefully, you're leaving your mark where people feel better about the place they call home. And so that's what this is for all of us, our home.
And School Board Committee member David Torresi.
Mr. Torresi has decided not to run for re-election, and so we do want to take a few minutes to recognize you, David, for the work that you have done with us and before some of us.
Listen, we have a great community. I love this community. I was born and raised here, and people are very passionate. So I respect that there's disagreement sometimes, but I would just, encourage, first of all, more people to run for office, get involved as an elected official or an appointed official in North Andover. We have a great community here, great people that work for the town, not just here in the school department, but in the town as well. So it's been an incredible adventure for the last 25 years. I think it's over. But you never say never.
Thank you, Phil and David, for all of your hard work. You will be missed. This year's final election results for Select Board are as follows. Incumbent Dick Valancourt and newcomer Janice Phillips received the most votes. And the highest vote totals among school committee candidates went to Pam Petrowski and returning member Andrew McDevitt. Congratulations to these winning candidates. We are looking forward to the year ahead.
And a big congratulations to Dick Valancourt and Janice Phillips, winners in the race for Select Board, as well as Andrew McDevitt and Pamela Petrowski, who garnered the most votes for the seats on our school committee. Now, once again, we head back to Merrimack College here on the Journal. We'd like to see what the students and the faculty are up to this month as they head into their spring semester.
For one of MCTV's favorite segments, Question on the Quad, our very own Gabby Harrow took the streets to ask fellow Warriors who influenced their college experience the most throughout their time here at Merrimack.
What's up, Warriors? It's Gabby Harrow here for a Question on the Quad. This month we're asking everyone who was the most influential person they've met at Merrimack so far.
I would have to say that my most influential person that I've met is Kevin Salemi, which I'm actually in his office right now. I've known him since freshman year, probably the first, second week I met him, and he's been a role model and like that cool uncle figure to me ever since I've been here.
I would say all the upperclassmen in my sorority have been really helpful, guiding me through my time at Merrimack from when I was a freshman until now as a sophomore, and they keep helping me through my experience.
I would have to say my friend Kara, she graduated a year ago. She helped me a lot in finding my place here and just trying to figure out who I am.
I would say that my primary advisor, Samantha Bruno, has been the most influential person I've met. She's really helped me guide through my freshman year here at Merrimack, and I totally recommend her just to meet her, get to know her, because she will really help you with your transition as a first year and the rest of the four-year experience at Merrimack.
Laura Pruitt, she's the most understanding and careful, caring person that is on campus.
For me, it'd definitely be Dr. Charlotte Burke. She's helped me through literally the past 2 years with everything, and she's definitely going to point me towards the best place for my career in later life.
I would have to say Assistant Athletic Director for Event Operations, Chris Dooley. He is crucial to all of the athletic events that occur on this campus and the MVP of the athletics department.
Calling all foodies. That's right here at North Andover Cam, we're very excited to announce a brand new feature for the show. We entitled it Cooking with Cam. Here we'll feature small segments from local North Andover restaurants, residents, and staff chefs sharing their favorite recipes for all of you to create at home. Now for our inaugural segment, we had the pleasure of hosting Greg from one of my favorite spots, the Good Day Cafe. Greg will be showing us how to make different types of cheeses from your own home.
Hello North Andover and welcome to Cooking with Cam. My name is Greg Lindsay and I am the owner of the Good Day Cafe on High Street in North Andover. One of the things that I always try to do is when I make a mistake, which is, it happens sometimes, I try to find ways to use and cover up my mistakes. So one time I had ordered in too much milk, and what I realized was there are really easy and delicious things that you can create using milk and cream. So what I started with was making some fresh ricotta cheese. What we do, and it's a pretty simple process, it's only taking some milk, okay, this is whole milk. You can use 2% milk if you want to, but it generally works better with whole milk. I also like to add in a little bit of cream, okay? You don't have to, but I think it makes it for a richer end product and a better flavor. One word of advice I would say is stay away from any highly pasteurized milks or creams. It doesn't quite curdle quite as good when you do that. So we're starting with a gallon of milk. We got about 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. I always like to use the fresh stuff. Salt. And then once we make it, we're gonna finish it off and toast up some delicious brioche bread and put some ricotta on that and top it off with some raspberry curd. So to get started, basically you're just gonna turn your stovetop on to, medium heat. Milk can burn, okay, when you're heating it. So one little trick that I usually like to use is to put a little bit of water on the bottom, and that'll give it almost like a little barrier. We'll use that one right there. It's perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and add in, this is gonna be all together, a gallon of milk. And then just a smaller amount of cream, maybe a cup or two, depending on what you like. Okay? And now it's just a waiting game for about 15 minutes until this starts to come up. The temperature that we want on this is just below 200 degrees. So we want it to simmer, but we don't want it to boil. So we're right about at the stage where we want to be in order to introduce certainly the salt, which you're going to go about 1.5 tablespoons or so of salt. You can go less. If you like it a little bit more salty, you can go a little bit more. But this is kind of what you're going to see on the surface of the milk. It's nice and frothy. We'll mix that in a little bit. And I'm going to turn the heat down on it to low, because once I introduce the lemon juice, it's going to start to break apart. The interesting thing about this particular process, it's a process, and there are many different things that you can make following the same process. Now I'm going to take the lemon juice, and usually about for a gallon of milk, about 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice is good. Sometimes you may need to add a little bit more in, but you can gauge that, but you're going to want to let it sit. I'm going to turn the heat off at this point. You could even remove it from the heat source. The curd is going to become your cheese. So we're just going to let that go for a couple of minutes and continue to separate. You see the difference in the color of the whey already, where it's almost more translucent than it was before. And there you go. We were waiting for it to come to this part. We did put in the toaster some nice, delicious brioche bread. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna strain it, and then we're gonna spoon some onto the brioche bread, and we're gonna add a little bit of the raspberry curd. This is a bit of a messy process. So I do like to spoon it at first. If you have a larger spoon, or if you don't mind making a mess, you can always put this into the sink and do it in there. I want to let it drain, see how it's still draining out. And you don't want all that moisture in there, but you want some of it left in. So here's a brioche bread, and here's where the rubber meets the road. And we're just going to take our bread, I hope you enjoy it. And you can, as I said before, you can use it for anything from ravioli fillings, on your pizza. So many things that you can do for it. It's been a pleasure being here. When you're done with it, you can just fill up a mason jar, put it right in there, close it up, put it in your refrigerator. A week or so is what you're going to get out of it. Obviously, the fresher the better. But it's a delicious treat. And thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being on Cooking with Cam. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks, Greg, for coming by and sharing your delicious recipes with us. And if you're interested in being featured on Cooking with Cam, contact our show producer, Gabby Griffiths, by phone or email listed below. Now, Fall 2 sports are happening at North Andover High School, and all the home games and events are being brought to you by Cam Sports. Our own Scarlet Knight varsity football team has already played 3 home games at Walsh Stadium. Let's check out those highlights.
After a promising start, the Scarlet Knights varsity football team has fallen on some hard times. They opened their season against Chelmsford in mid-March. Running back Steve Ferrulo got the first North Andover score of the season with a short touchdown run. And then we heard a name that was tossed around a lot during basketball season, Jake Walinski. Walinski's 25-yard run in the first quarter doubled the Scarlet Knights' lead. In the second quarter, quarterback Will Schummler went to the air, finding Nick Ankowitz for a 10-yard touchdown strike, and then he hit Jake Walinski for his second touchdown. The Knights went into halftime with a 28-0 lead. They continued the scoring in the third quarter as A.J. Lawrence ran one in from 19 yards out. And the Lions finally got on the scoreboard late in the third, and they added a fourth-quarter touchdown, but by that time, the Knights were already home, and they came away with a 35-14 victory. The next week, the Knights were on the road to face the Malden Catholic Lancers, but they came up on the short end of a 28-26 score. After that, the Knights returned home to face the Billerica Indians, and it looked like some home cooking was just what the Knights needed. They got off to a quick start as Will Schummler found tight end Max Wolfgang on what turned out to be a 30-yard touchdown pass. However, Billerica added 2 second-quarter scores and held a 14-6 lead. Late in the half, Steve Ferrulo found the end zone, and the Knights added the 2-point conversion to knot up the score, 14-14. Both teams fought a scoreless battle in the third quarter, and when Billerica added a fourth-quarter touchdown and looked to have the game wrapped up, the Knights took advantage of a late chance, and Will Schummler went around the right side and scampered 50 yards for a much-needed touchdown. The point-after kick was good, and again the score was tied. At the end of regulation, it was 21 apiece. Billerica got the first possession in the overtime period. They came away with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, which made it 29-21. Now North Andover had their chance, and while they were able to score the touchdown, Jake Walinski was stopped 2 yards short of the goal line on the attempt for the 2-point conversion. Play over, game over. Billerica 29, North Andover 27. The next week, the Knights were looking to get back to the 500 mark as they hosted Tewksbury. The first quarter saw Tewksbury score twice, both from short runs set up by long drives. They added a third TD in the second quarter, and North Andover needed points badly. They started to get those points when Will Schummler connected with Max Wolfgang for their first touchdown. The Knights appeared to gain some momentum as they later pinned Tewksbury deep in their own territory. Tewksbury were forced to punt, and the kick did not travel far, only ending up on the Tewksbury 31-yard line. On the first play of the ensuing drive, lightning struck for the Knights as Schummler once again threw for a score, in this case a 31-yard strike to Jack Ferrulo. The Knights went into halftime still trailing, 21-14, but looked to have gotten their fight back. Any thoughts that this would be a close ball game, however, were quickly quashed by Tewksbury, as the Redmen added 2 touchdowns in the third quarter and topped things off with another one in the fourth. When all was said and done, the final score was Tewksbury 41, North Andover 14. The Knights' record now sits at 1-3, and they will play the final 2 games of the shortened Fall 2 season on the road, with a matchup against Drake and then the finale versus Andover. The Knights varsity may be on the road, but the freshman and JV teams will be playing at home against Drake and Andover, and you can watch those games right here on North Andover Cam.
Now, Cam Sports will be bringing you more events from the Fall 2 season, including freshman football, swim and dive, indoor track, and unified basketball. And you can watch these sporting events on our Cam Access channel, Comcast 22 or Verizon 24. Now, while we're on the subject of sports, we see stories every year about high school athletes committing to athletic programs in the Division I or the Division II schools. Last year, the North Andover Athletic Department decided that it was time to honor the achievements of students who look to move on to Division III schools as well. In late March, the high school had their second Division III signing day, and many excellent student athletes were there, and we were there as well, to capture all their excitement.
It's a special day for any student when they make their decision as to what college or university they'll be attending. It's even more exciting when those students get to announce their commitment to a school's athletic program. And a number of North Andover student athletes got to do just that late last month when the athletic department held a signing day for those students who had recently chosen to attend Division III schools. This signing day was introduced last year by Athletic Director Laura Habacker, who was looking to recognize North Andover students who were looking to move on and compete for a Division III school. For Habacker, this was a labor of love, as she is a veteran of Division III athletic programs, as a player, as a coach, and as an athletic director. In most cases, signing days only involve students in certain sports who go to Division I or Division II schools. But Habacker insisted on recognizing the achievements of the Division III bound students as well. One of the main differences between the divisions is that students going to D1 or D2 schools sign letters of intent that are tantamount to binding contracts. They receive athletic scholarships as well. In the case of a D3 signing, it's more of a ceremonial process, and those students do not get athletic scholarships. Any scholarships these students receive are based solely on their academic performance. 8 North Andover seniors participated in last year's signing day. This year, 15 were in attendance. 13 of those are Division III signees, and there were a couple of Division II-bound students in there as well. And though they are not signing official ironclad letters of intent, the school held the event to give these student athletes their moment in the spotlight. So the papers they were signing weren't actually official, but the enthusiasm and pride felt in the room was completely authentic. A number of different sports were represented in this event, like field hockey, track and field, football, and ice hockey. However, the overwhelming majority of those in attendance were lacrosse players. And while many COVID-19 isolation precautions and mask requirements were still in place, there was an allowance to put the masks aside for those students who wanted to take pictures with family members, as long as those family members lived in the same house as the student. Now, originally, we'd planned to introduce you to these student athletes, but then we thought it would be better to let the students handle their own introductions. So we would like you to meet the North Andover High School seniors who are headed to Division III programs in the fall, and a couple of Division II-bound students as well.
Hi, I'm Katie Wojcik, and I'm playing soccer at Emerson College. I'm Kelsey Dione, and I'm going to Middlebury College to play lacrosse. Hi, I'm Ainsley Dione. I'm going to Colby College to play lacrosse.
Hi, I'm Peter Martell. I'm running track and field at Colby College.
Hi, I'm Lauren Costanzo, and I'm playing field hockey at Roger Williams University.
I'm Calista Rangel, and I'm playing lacrosse at Vassar College.
I'm Jack Roach, and I'm playing football at Amherst College.
My name is Seth DeSalvo. I'm going to Plymouth State University for football.
Hi, my name is Ryan Clooney. I'm playing lacrosse at Dean College.
My name is John Drew. I'm committed to Wheaton College to play lacrosse.
I'm Grant Willow. I'm going to be playing lacrosse at Salve Regina University.
I'm Salona Fahey, and I'm playing lacrosse at Babson College.
I'm Michaela Danner, and I'm playing lacrosse at Babson College.
Hi, my name is Libby Harrison, and I'm going to Bentley for field hockey.
Hi, I'm Sean Corliss. I'm playing hockey at Assumption University next year.
Well, congratulations and best wishes from the Journal crew to all the North Andover student athletes moving on to the collegiate ranks in the fall. Now, the Senior Center has been very busy the past few weeks. They recently had a St. Patrick's Day drive-through, and they are deep into the planning process for their official reopening, which is coming up very soon. Also on the recent agenda was saying goodbye to their longtime director, Irene O'Brien, who has been part of the North Andover Senior Center for nearly 2 decades. To honor and celebrate her service, the Senior Center had a drive-by celebration and a special chance to say goodbye to Irene and thank her.
wanted to wish her well and a happy retirement.
Thank you. I love my job and I love all the people that I've met in it.
Thank you for everything.
Very nice. Oh, thank you. Okay, you take care. You as well. Job and I'm going to miss everybody very, very much. Oh, mine too. I would like to thank them for the opportunity of being their director for the last 18 years, and I love my job, and I'm just grateful for everything that has been shown to me in the years. Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm really kind of lost for words. I've been very blessed. We have had the best staff in the world, the best board members that pushed through to help us get the new senior center, and we're really, really excited about the future and what will come forward for the town of North Andover.
Once again, Irene, you will be missed by everyone, and thank you again for all your hard work that you've done for our seniors and our North Andover community. Now, here at the Journal, we are always on the lookout for a great North Andover news story or even a fresh new idea for show features or segments. So if you have any ideas or exciting news, please let us know by emailing us at thejournal@northandovercam.org. Thanks again for tuning into this episode of The Journal, and be sure to keep an eye out for our future episodes. And from all of us here at The Journal and North Andover Cam, I'm your hometown host, Ron Carpenito, and thanks again for watching.